Fix Your Ninja Blender, a comprehensive guide.
Hello there. Is your Ninja blender giving you a hard time? Well, don't fret. Today, we're going to walk through the steps of troubleshooting and fixing a Ninja blender that isn't blending properly.
What are the symptoms?
Before we dive into fixing, we first need to identify what problem we're dealing with. Your blender might not be blending properly for a number of reasons. These include poor blade rotation, motor making strange noises, blender not turning on, leaks or spills.
Checking the basics.
Firstly, let's address some basics. It might sound trivial, but they're essential and can often be overlooked. 1. Is the power cord plugged in correctly? 2. Is the blender's power switch turned on? 3. Have you assembled the blender correctly? Make sure the lid is securely in place, and that the jar is correctly seated on the base.
Inspecting the blade assembly.
One common cause of poor blending performance is an issue with the blade assembly. Here are a few steps to diagnose and fix this issue. 1. Unplug the blender before inspecting the blade assembly. 2. Check if the blades are blunt. If they are, they might not be able to blend properly. You may need to replace the blade assembly. 3. Look for any lodged food particles around the blade assembly. If there are, remove and clean the assembly.
Dealing with motor issues.
If your blender's motor is making strange noises or not turning on, here's what you can do. 1. Check if the blender is overloaded. If it is, remove some contents, then try again. 2. Let the motor cool down. Overheating can cause the motor to malfunction. Unplug and leave it to rest for about 15 minutes before trying again.
Managing leaks or spills.
If your blender is leaking, you should 1. Ensure the jar is not overfilled. There's a maximum fill line on the jar for a reason. 2. Check if the lid and base are screwed on properly. 3. Examine the gasket and jar for any cracks. If there are, you might need to replace them. And there you have it. A step-by-step guide to troubleshooting your Ninja blender. With these tips in mind, your blender should be back to its optimal blending performance in no time. However, remember that if the problem persists, it's always best to consult with a professional or reach out to the manufacturer. We hope you found this guide helpful and happy blending.